What do you actually own? Look around at what you consider yours. Your possessions, your money, your home, your reputation, your relationships, your body, your health. These seem like your possessions. You worked for them. You maintain them. You feel ownership over them. But the Stoics asked a more fundamental question: can something truly be called yours if it can be taken from you without your consent? Your wealth can be lost to economic collapse, to theft, to circumstance. Your health fails with age or illness. Your reputation depends on others' opinions, which shift like the wind. Your relationships end through death, betrayal, or changing circumstances. Even your body, which seems most intimately yours, ages, weakens, and will eventually be taken by death. If all of these can be removed from you, are they really yours? Or are they merely on loan from fortune, temporary possessions that you never truly owned? The Stoics. From Zeno, who founded the school, through Chrysippus, who systematized it, to Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius, who lived it, all taught the same thing: there is only one category of possession that is genuinely, absolutely, unconditionally yours. Only one thing that fortune cannot take, that circumstances cannot destroy, that death itself cannot remove. Your character. Specifically, your virtue. And virtue, the Stoics taught, consists of 4 essential qualities: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These 4 cardinal virtues are the only true possessions. Everything else is borrowed. Let me explain what each of these virtues actually is, why they cannot be taken, and how they become the only secure foundation for human flourishing. First, understand what makes something genuinely yours in the Stoic sense. Epictetus makes the distinction clearly: some things are up to us, and some things are not up to us. Up to us are our faculties of judgment, motivation, desire, and aversion, in short, everything that is our own doing. Not up to us are our body, our possessions, our reputation, our status, in short, everything that is not our own doing. True possession requires absolute control. If something can be taken from you without your consent, if its existence depends on factors beyond your power, then it was never truly yours. You were merely its temporary custodian. But your capacity for virtue, your ability to exercise wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, this resides entirely within your sphere of control. No external force can prevent you from being wise in your judgments, courageous in facing reality, just in your dealings, or temperate in your desires. Seneca writes, "Nothing will ever happen to me that I shall receive with gloom or a bad disposition. I shall pay my taxes gladly." The wise person can be imprisoned, but not made unjust. Can be tortured, but not made cowardly. Can lose everything external, but not lose wisdom or self-control. Because these exist in a domain that external force cannot reach. The first virtue is wisdom, in Greek, Sophia or phronesis. But this is not wisdom in the modern sense of having information or being well-read. This is something more fundamental. Wisdom, for the Stoics, is the knowledge of what is truly good, truly evil, and truly indifferent. It's the capacity to distinguish correctly between what matters and what doesn't, what's in your control and what isn't, what's according to nature and what's contrary to it. The Stoics taught that most human suffering comes from a fundamental error of judgment. We believe that external things are good or evil in themselves. We think wealth is good, poverty evil. Health is good, illness evil. Life is good, death is evil. But these are not good or evil. They're indifferent. Neither beneficial nor harmful to your essential nature as a rational being. What's actually good is virtue. What's actually evil is vice. Everything else is merely material that virtue or vice uses. Wisdom is recognizing this correctly. It's seeing through the confusion that society teaches, the misvaluation that most people live by, and grasping what actually has value. Epictetus taught, it is not things themselves that disturb people, but their judgments about those things. The wise person knows that losing money is not evil, it's merely a change in external circumstances. Being insulted is not harmful, words are just vibrations in the air. Dying is not bad, it's a natural process, as natural as being born. What is evil? Only vice, only the corruption of your rational faculty, only judging incorrectly, only acting against virtue. Wisdom is also practical intelligence, knowing what to do in particular circumstances. Not abstract knowledge, but applied understanding. The wise person knows when to speak and when to remain silent, when to act and when to wait, how to respond appropriately to each situation according to reason and virtue. Marcus Aurelius writes, "The first rule is to keep an untroubled spirit. The second is to look things in the face and know them for what they are." This is wisdom, undisturbed clarity about reality. Correct judgment about value. Practical intelligence in action. And this cannot be taken from you. Others can deceive you, but only if you consent to the deception. Circumstances can be confusing, but your capacity to think clearly remains yours. You may judge incorrectly, but that's your error, not something imposed on you. And you can always correct it. The second virtue is courage, Andreia in Greek. But again, this is not courage in the popular sense of fearlessness or physical bravery. This is something more precise. Stoic courage is the capacity to endure difficulty without being disturbed, to face reality without flinching, to maintain your principles under pressure. It's the strength to bear what nature brings without collapsing internally. Seneca writes, "Fire is the test of gold, adversity, of strong men." Courage is not the absence of fear. It's acting rightly despite fear. It's recognizing that some things are genuinely difficult or painful, and choosing to face them anyway because that's what virtue requires. The courageous person doesn't pretend that pain doesn't hurt. They recognize pain but don't add to it the judgment that it's unbearable or that it shouldn't be happening. They endure what comes without being broken by it. This applies to physical pain, illness, injury, torture. The Stoics acknowledged that these things genuinely hurt. But they insisted that pain alone cannot destroy your virtue. You can be in pain and still think clearly, still act justly, still maintain self-control. Pain is a physical sensation. It becomes suffering only when you add judgment. This shouldn't be happening, I can't bear this will destroy me. But courage applies equally to psychological and spiritual challenges. Facing uncertainty without panic. Bearing loss without despair. Confronting mortality without terror. Standing by principles when it costs you. Telling difficult truths. Living by your values even when it's socially costly. Marcus Aurelius, who ruled during plague and war, writes, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Courage is recognizing that circumstances cannot harm your essential self, your capacity for virtue. External events can hurt your body, damage your possessions, kill you, or even. But they cannot make you cowardly unless you choose to be. They cannot corrupt your character unless you allow it. And this cannot be taken. Others can threaten you, but whether you respond with courage or cowardice is your choice. Circumstances can be dire, but your capacity to face them virtuously remains yours. Even facing death, especially facing death, you can choose dignity over degradation. The third virtue is justice, dikaiosine. This is the social virtue, the one that governs your relationships with others. But it's more comprehensive than legal justice or fairness in the modern sense. Stoic justice means recognizing the natural relationships between things and acting appropriately within those relationships. It means giving each thing its proper due, treating people according to their nature, fulfilling your roles appropriately, recognizing your place in the larger whole. The Stoics taught that all rational beings are connected, that we're all citizens of the cosmos, that we're all fragments of the divine logos temporarily embodied. Justice is recognizing this kinship and acting accordingly. This means treating others as fellow rational beings who are trying to live according to their understanding, even when their understanding is flawed. It means recognizing that everyone is doing what seems good to them, based on their judgments about what has value. Marcus Aurelius writes, "When people injure you, ask yourself what good or harm they thought would come from it. If you understand that, you'll feel sympathy rather than outrage or anger. Your sense of good and evil may be the same as theirs, or near it, in which case you have to excuse them. Or your sense of good and evil may differ from theirs. In which case, they're misguided and deserve your compassion. Where's the harm in that? Justice means performing your roles excellently. If you're a parent, being a good parent. If you're a citizen, fulfilling civic duties. If you're an employee, do your work honestly. Not for reward, but because this is what rationality requires in those relationships. Justice also means fairness in dealings, being honest, keeping promises, respecting what belongs to others. Not because society demands it, but because this is natural to rational beings operating according to reason. And crucially, justice means contributing to the common good. Recognizing that you exist within a larger system and that your individual flourishing is tied to the health of the whole. Seneca writes, "We are all members of one great body. Nature made us relatives when it created us from the same materials for the same purposes. This virtue, too, cannot be taken. Others may treat you unjustly, but they cannot make you unjust. You can be cheated, but you cannot be forced to cheat. You can be betrayed, but you cannot be compelled to betray. Your capacity to act justly remains entirely within your control." The fourth virtue is temperance, sophrosyne in Greek. This is often translated as self-control or moderation, but it's more fundamental than either translation suggests. Temperance is the governance of impulses and desires according to reason. It's the capacity to regulate your reactions, to moderate your wants, to maintain balance in your responses. It's reason controlling passion rather than being controlled by it. The intemperate person is ruled by their appetites. They see something and immediately want it. They feel an impulse and immediately follow it. They experience anger and immediately act on it. They're not self-governing, they're governed by external triggers and internal compulsions. The temperate person maintains sovereignty over their inner life. Desires arise, but they examine them. Is this desire aligned with reason? Is this what is appropriate to my nature as a rational being? Should I pursue this or let it pass? Epictetus taught that we should train our desires like we train an animal. Don't let them run wild. Direct them. Discipline them. Desire only what's appropriate to desire, virtue, right action, proper use of impressions. This doesn't mean eliminating desire. It means having the right desires. Desiring what's in accordance with nature, what's actually good, what's in your power. The temperate person can enjoy pleasure without being enslaved to it. Can face pain without being destroyed by aversion to it. Can experience anger without being controlled by it. They feel these things, they're human, but they don't let these feelings dictate their actions. Marcus Aurelius writes, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Temperance is that power. The power to pause between stimulus and response. To examine your reaction before acting on it. To choose your action based on reason rather than being compelled by passion. And this, like the other virtues, cannot be taken. Circumstances can be tempting, but whether you exercise self-control is yours. Others can try to provoke you, but whether you maintain equanimity is your choice. External pressures can be intense, but your capacity to govern yourself remains within your power. The Stoics taught something profound about these four virtues. They're not actually separate qualities. They're different aspects of the same thing, the rational soul functioning properly. You cannot have one without the others. True wisdom requires courage. You must be brave enough to see reality clearly, even when it's difficult. Wisdom requires justice. You must understand your relationships correctly. Wisdom requires temperance. You must control your judgments and desires. Similarly, courage without wisdom is recklessness. Justice without wisdom is blind rule following. Temperance without wisdom is mere suppression. Each virtue implies and requires all the others. There are 4 perspectives on the same perfected state: arete, excellence, the rational soul operating according to its nature. Chrysippus, the third head of the Stoic school, taught that virtue is unified knowledge, comprehensive understanding of what's good and how to act on that understanding in all circumstances. So why are these 4 virtues the only secure possessions? Because they exist entirely within your sphere of control. They're activities of your reasoning faculty, and your reasoning faculty is absolutely yours in a way nothing external can be. Wealth depends on fortune, on economic conditions, on others' actions. Health depends on biology, on accident, on factors you didn't choose. Reputation depends on others' judgments, which you cannot control. Life itself depends on countless variables beyond your power. But wisdom depends only on you judging correctly. Courage depends only on you facing reality without flinching. Justice depends only on you acting according to right relationships. Temperance depends only on you governing yourself according to reason. No tyrant can prevent you from being wise. No circumstance can force you to be cowardly. No loss can compel you to be unjust. No temptation can make you intemperate, you must choose that. Even facing death, even under torture, even having lost everything external, you can maintain virtue. And because virtue is the only true good, you retain everything that matters. Seneca writes, "If you wish to be stripped of nothing that is yours, then disown those things that can be taken away." The only possessions that cannot be taken from you are those within you, your virtue, your character, your reasonable faculty. How do you develop these virtues? The Stoics were clear: through practice. Daily, deliberate, conscious practice. Each morning, prepare yourself. Anticipate challenges you might face and how you'll respond virtuously. This is practicing wisdom, thinking ahead about what's appropriate. Throughout the day, examine your reactions. When desire arises, ask if it's aligned with reason. When fear appears,